Mic check. All right, cool. Hi, folks. Thanks for joining me this evening. Woodturning Wednesday right here on Twitch. My name's Dave. I'm a woodturner. Started turning as therapy for PTSD. Found out I had a knack for it and fell in love with it. And then I started teaching it and fell in love with that too. So I started this channel to become a better teacher and a better demonstrator and a better turner. The more I work with other turners and then the more I share what I have learned, the more it gets re-cemented into my head. So it's a win-win, I think. Anyway, thanks for joining me. We're going to start off with a piece of maple here. Let's turn this camera down. Let me hit this guy. And give myself a little bit of light. So, this has been hanging around on the drying rack for quite a while. I can't remember when I got it. It's been over a year. Anyway, at one point I'd marked all the splits in green marker. Looks like I had meant to use this for something. I don't know what. But I thought I'd make it round and see what it looks like because I have an idea for another project and I want to see, although I don't think this is going to be good. I thought perhaps I might be able to use this piece as blanks for carbon too, but there's going to be figure in this like quadrant from a branch. I think this was a piece taken out of a piece of crotchwood. So there's going to be figure all through here. Kind of see that. There's going to be figure all through here. There's another part of the branch, and I'm not too sure about this. Definitely going to be some figure, but I found that there are some beetle holes. Now, apparently I quartered this out, or cut it out somehow out of a piece of maple crotchwood. I had intended it for probably a longer or taller tiered box or something. But anyway, I still want to make it around and see what it looks like. This will get turned away. Got to be careful with that. There was a big chunk of bark in here, and I took that out. So I'm going to mask up for this one, at least till I get past the beetle holes. We'll see how deep they actually go. I just don't want to breathe that dust. So, mask on. Now, this is a square-ish piece of timber, but I didn't just like go corner to corner and mark the X's. I put it on its balance point to start. Again, I want to start with the least amount of vibration that I have to have, and keep it that way because vibration is not a good thing. It can mess up your cut, interrupt your cut, just do all kinds of things that's not great, and just make the experience less than enjoyable, especially with a bump. So, and because this has been sitting around for a while, I briefly thought about using the skew just to take it down really fast. But this is hard wood here, more or less not wood, and so is this. And so I'm not going to hit that with the skew head on. I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to use my bowl gouge to round this guy out and see what it looks like. And once we're done with that, I'm going to go right to this piece of cherry. And there's another box idea that I have that I want to turn out for in preparation for the class in October. Tool rest is moving a bit. Is this some hard maple? Ooh, all right. So just the fact of cutting that air with that speed on this is hard timber. Not going to be suitable for cutting at all, but might be for turning something nice out of it. But you can already see some of the figure that's showing up. Maybe quite a bit in there. Waiting to see what's going to happen here, but it does look like it's just a tiny bit punky right there, but we'll keep pressing on. The rest of this is hard enough. And I am really being aggressive with the tool, so. But this was closer to the outside of the tree, it looks like. This particular face. So anyway, if just observations, we're going to stop and assess the material, see how things are going, see what is, presenting itself from the wood, because you can't see what's going to be underneath the surface till you break through the surface. So you don't know what the present is until you open it, right? So right now I'm just working it around. Oh yeah, there's going to be some figure there. So it had started spalting. So there are going to be some bits of the wood that are a little bit further along as far as the breakdown process in the tree. Some of that's going to be right in here, but it was caught fairly early. So I still think this is going to be all right. This is going to, at least this part anyway, is going to sand out fine. The rest of this is, the finish off the tool is really nice. It's nice when you get past cutting all the air, because then you actually start throwing real shavings. Alright, so now we're seeing more of the punkiness show up here on this part of the surface. Just a little bit in here. I think Let's see. Oh yeah, lots of figure in there. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's definitely a lot of figure going all over this spot. There's some in here too. It's a little washed out from this felting process, but getting all this surface cleaned off, uh, it's it's come along really nice. Seems like that's the direction it would want me to go. So yeah, I cleaned it up a lot better cutting this way, so I'll keep that in mind. Okay, so I've got a split going on here. This is, let's see if I can, how far it'll go if I can color it. All right. So it goes to right about there, which means I'll lose some of that. Goes down almost 3/4 of an inch into the side. So, maybe that could be a rounded bottom of something. I don't know. This might be an issue. I'll have to figure out what I want to do with that. Maybe I want to fill it. But let's open it up a bit and see. Because there is a possibility I can fill it, but if it doesn't go very deep, oh yeah, be right back. Let's see, I've got a little spatula over here. Sorry, this. So I guess you could use a feeler gauge or whatever. I've got a little painter's spatula that I use to gauge how deep things are, the cracks, stuff like that. And because it's got a narrow tip and it's kind of pointed, I can get pretty far down into a crack. And it is kind of flexible, so it'll kind of follow if the crack curves. Oop, that's the deepest part right there. So yeah, 1.25 inches deep. So maybe I can fill that. Possibly. Well, hmm. I don't know. I had to think about that part. Just wanted to see, like I said, what this piece looked like for a future project. It's definitely going to be too hard to, or it's hard wood, so it wouldn't be as easy to carve as this cherry. So I won't be taking it, but at least I know now that I've got some really pretty wood in here. Let me mark this line. And the one split I had, that it was marked anyway. Also, it's gone, so there's really no split on this end. So I've got a lot more material potentially to use here than I do on this end. This will at least partially go bye-bye. And the beetle holes go, a couple of them anyway, go kind of deep. So I'm glad I wore the mask. All right, let's clean this up. I'm going to move this aside and bring out that nice little piece of cherry. Actually, I've got 2 blanks left, but let's see. Put you up top here. And there you are. Maybe a little bit further apart. And I should be able to take the mask off now. All right. Let's see. So this is basically just roughed out last night. I'm going to clean it up and start turning it into a... I think I'd like to take a stoppered box because I like playing with that idea. I've been playing with it for a little while, and I'm just liking the shapes and things that are coming out of it. So I want to make one that will have a lidded top. Not sharp enough to go this direction. Still got some bark. That's what I was looking for. Let's see if we got rid of that. I know this is gonna kind of disappear, but I'm hoping at least some of the curl and the rose color will be like, this will be the lid and this will be the jar kind of thing. Yeah, so somewhere in there, probably on this line right here is where I'll make the lid. Maybe it'll be a little bit further up. Don't recall. We'll have to see as I'm making it around. I don't think there's really any splits to worry about there. Was this one that I thought about last night, which was going to be the bottom? Or did I turn that last night? Don't really. I see like bark inclusions, like right here and a little bit there. No real splits. A little bit of a bark inclusion there. This might be this little 1/4 inch, but it could be also a pencil mark. I don't know. But that won't be an issue. It could also be just a bark inclusion. So I think this will be all right throughout the whole process. I'll be able to make maximal use of the timber on this one, I think.
About is said, howdy y'all.
Hey, howdy, man. How's it going? It's still slave driving you at work, man.
About is said, going to work until my Zoom meeting is over.
Oh, wow. Okay. I guess I shouldn't be like totally surprised. It's like 8 o'clock here, so what is it, like 4 o'clock there? Maybe 3? Anyway, a couple of time zones away. Still got that bark. I guess that doesn't matter so much, but I'm really also trying to get through to the bottom of this guy. And I think, let's see, let's grab this tool. Because it looks like that, yeah, that is bark. I mean, I knew this was a bark inclusion, but I wasn't sure if that was like a piece of, a bit of the wood that was still sticking out and kind of being half a bridge, because those can be kind of sharp. And I'd want to remove it anyway, but it turned out to be instead just a piece of bark. So that's cool. All right. Let's see. I'm getting a really nice finish going this direction, so I want to see, just for fun. It's not bad. Still a little bit better going that direction. And we're getting to the bottom of that, which is what I really am shooting for, or at least close to it. I don't want any kind of little weird lip there. Because it might look strange on somebody's counter, table, shelf, whatever, if this doesn't line up really well. And a lot of times when people put lids on, they don't really do it. I like to line things up and have the grain lined up, but most people don't really pay attention to that much. That's just me. But something like that would be probably going to get turned away, because at the very least, the shoulder of the body of the box will be up in there, so that's going to go away anyway. But I want to see. I want to see what I'm going to be working with for the box. So that's pretty all right there. I think we'll just leave that. Let's. I don't need this big guy anymore. And that gives me a bit of a 45 angle. Well, I haven't really moved it down just. That works. It's still too tall. This one, I think I bottom it out. Yep. it's probably time too to change to a sharper tool steel. So yeah, that was a bark inclusion. I'm going to assume that was that little 1/4 inch bit that I was looking at when we still had the raw wood. So we're going to say that's a bark inclusion, and that was it. And there's no split. I'm not seeing one anyway. Okay. And it really is okay if that, unless I, frame it somehow, maybe. I don't know. We'll see when I get the final shape. I'm pretty sure that is going to be gone anyway. I just wanted to get some of that color in there, but I guess that's really honestly not going to matter either. To be fair, since it's going to be carved and then probably painted or dyed. I don't know. All right, so here I can take the diameter of this piece down. I think actually I'm just going to part it right there. Maybe a little bit above that. I don't need a huge lid for this. I do want some space on the lid to do some carving, hopefully, and then on the main body as well. Whoops. Once again. Well, I have sharpened my spindle gouge, so this will go quickly. Easy there, Phil. And then I will part it somewhere in there. So I'm going to take the diameter down. Yeah, I'm basically going to put it right in here. no splits on this side that I recall. All right. Now with the lid, that bit there being still attached. I'll play around with the shape a little bit. Get a really nice finish off the tool. Yeah, that's looking pretty all right. Might have to bring it in a little bit more, just to make sure that cap's going to fit over the where I want the rim to be. That'll work. Not quite. That's better. It's a pretty short angle with a 60-degree ground, but with a 50-degree ground, even more so. I figure I'd go over the surface of that before I hit it with abrasive. All right, so now I'm at the point where I can completely port this off. I can hold it in the chuck to be able to hollow out the topper. And I've got a hold set here. So groovy. All right, first things first, I want to work on the box, the body of the box itself, hollowing that out. And I'm going to be working towards, in general, a 1/2 inch wall thickness, at least where I think may want to carve on the surface, which I guess I should probably map that out too. Maybe. All right. Don't really need the tailstock now. Dusty. Alrighty then. Don't need the parting tools, so put that away. I think I'm a little too low. A little bit. And now a little too high. Where's that topper at? That'll be just about right. See if I can get it centered pretty well so I can get a better idea. But I just need about a 1/2 inch, and that's basically what that is. A little bit wider mouth, which is good. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah. Okay, so now I got to figure out some of that actually. So there would be like a border or a collar there, more or less, where this is going to sit on that surface. And let's go ahead and hit that with some abrasive. Okay, there's my guy. That stuff is toast.
Build a builder said, howdy, howdy. Freeway said,
Oh, wow. Hey, how y'all doing? Ray, you get around, don't you? Good to see y'all.
build a builder said, doing good, got together in nothing. Not to pick a car.
Oh, groovy, I got it. Hey, thanks, though. That's awesome.
What are you making this evening?
On a stopper jar blank that I can take with me when I go to Aramont in October for Jim Scarcella's carving class. I got a scholarship through the school, being a veteran. I've gone there a couple times, but it's a really neat place. Not a fan of Gatlinburg myself, but that is a heck of a tourist town, I'll tell you. But you don't really notice it when you're on the campus. Campus kind of tucked away. And I guess it's on 3 or 4 acres. I haven't walked the whole property. I didn't realize that the property was that large. So anyway, just getting myself a couple of pieces ready to take down and travel. Gotta, eventually pack my tools and all that. What tools I'm gonna take. And it was suggested that since the class is mostly going to focus on carving and not turning, even though I'm still going to take advantage of the studio after class and probably turn because I really enjoy turning. Um, it was suggested that we bring, pieces that we might want to practice on or carve on. So I'm making basically some blanks to do that with. I have some cherry. I was going to bring some walnut because walnut's not too terrible to carve either. But apparently there are some allergies out there. I know that pretty much any wood you can develop allergies if you breathe enough of the sawdust and all that, which is why I'm wearing a mask right now. Um, but apparently there is I'd never heard of a walnut sensitivity, although I'm sure there certainly could be walnut sensitivity. Uh, I know of at least one person who's got sensitivity to cedar, red cedar. I'm not sure about the other one, but probably just cedar in general. And other stuff out there, so, you know, wouldn't surprise me, but apparently there's more people than I ever even thought of being allergic to walnut. So I guess I won't bring, and that's mostly what I have in my shop right now is walnut. So I don't guess I'll be bringing any of that. But I did have a little bit of cherry, and I don't know, you know, I'm gonna hit some people up between now and then and ask for, I don't know, maybe if anybody's got maybe some fruit wood, that might be nice to carve, I guess. This cherry will be. Still a little bit below center. Howdy, howdy, Zarad. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. That's probably about it right there. We'll find out shortly. Nope, it's too high. Tail starts getting in the way here. Let's see, move back some more. House luck handle is nice. It's really long. Good enough to start. So here's a good tip, and we'll just whip this dude out. How am I hollowing these out with the spindle gouge? I'm not going straight in. Although I'll have all that support of the cut underneath, there's areas in there that I won't be able to get to very well. And I have less control pulling this way towards the rim than I do cutting at a 45-degree angle or some facsimile of that to open that up. So as you can probably see in this camera, let me lift that up just a bit. That is an angled surface. So I'm coming in. The tool is basically at a 45-degree angle. And I can get a nice, smooth, controlled cut that way. Without ever contacting the wing and possibly getting a catch. So that is, in general, a really safe way to do that, and a little bit more efficient, I think, rather than trying to go straight in, because then you start worrying about contacting that whole wing, and I just want maybe the front half of it cutting. I don't need to really hog off inside. And at this point, I'm going to switch to a bow gouge because this is a skinnier bit of steel than what this is. It's getting some vibration, even though I'm only, what is that, inch and a half off the tool rest. I'm tucked in as close to the rim as I can get without rubbing. But I need more of a mass of the tool. And now I know I'm too high because this bow gouge needs to have this bottomed out, because the tool steel is just a little bit thicker in that spot. Flute. Same gauge steel, 5/8. 3/8, I guess, depending on which side of the. Maybe that doesn't even matter. I was going to say which side of the pond you're on, but because at least in Europe and the UK, tools are sized by how wide the flute is. And here in the US, because we always have to be freaking different, the size of the tool is based on the tool steel, the diameter of the steel, or the size of the steel, or the width of the steel, or whatever. So there's that. So here, this is called a 5/8 bow gouge, but it's a 3/8 inch flute. So in other places, it would be called a 3/8, or whatever it is in millimeters. And I just bumped out in metric. I just bumped my head on the camera. Okay. So I am just about at my final depth. Now I want to start opening this up some. Let's see. Yeah. I might go a little deeper. I don't know. What'd I do with you? There you are. I think I probably should turn on the air compressor. I got a little bit of air in here, but not much. And that might be really helpful. I'm almost at my wall thickness too, which is nice. So I'm just going to grab the scraper and finish that off. I do want to double check here. Yeah, I can go a little bit deeper. So I'm gonna wander around, turn on the air compressor so it can make its noise while I'm doing this. And so far, I've been pleased with the way these microphones filter that out. Watching the recordings myself, it's very, very nice. My son sent me these, so he chose well, but he's also been a gamer and a streamer for, oh gosh, a long time. Raging Striker Gaming, if you're familiar. Right here on Twitch, Raging Striker Gaming. Actually, you know what? I'm going to type that out right now. Whoop, whoop.
Right. So check out Raging Striker Gaming.
I don't know, I may have typed it out wrong. Anyway, it's on Twitch. Trying to thought of that on the fly. Good, now I can shut that thing off. Because even though it may not be loud for you, it's loud for me. Okay. Tra-la-la. That'll do. And my big fat head gets in the way, but you need to see how the tool is contacting there in the bottom. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Nice. Need to have my tool handle up more. guess in a way, this is all to get around having to pull out the hollowing system to get around the corners here. There we go. You know, I think I'm going to call that good. I'm going to do a little bit more on the shoulder here. Probably should blow that out first. And I do want to get, well, I guess the bird's doing all right. There we go. Clean up the sidewall. And one last depth check. 16, so it's right there. That's a good depth. Now I am going to put a fresh burr on it. And make one final light pass. Well, hold on. Let's see. Maybe I don't need to. Yeah, I should. Blow it out first, you can see better. Okay, cool. All right, now clean that up. Yeah, little spot. It's a little bit of a booger. Okay, I actually need to raise it up a little bit more. Alright, let me dress up the burr again. Think that'll work. Let's blow it up first. I think that will be everything. Maybe. Yeah. Ah, dang it. Somehow I got off center again. Okay, got it. Groovy. Now I can finish the rim. Oh, thought I had it. Hold on. That was it. Now I can work on finishing off that beaded rim. Oh, and I need to also think about it being a stopper jar. Let's see. Maybe I'll make that angle a little bit steeper. Let's take this back up. And I need to address the burr on that side. And I'll turn it up on edge just to get a more sheer cut. A little bit less vibration. That looks like that'll work fine. Chamfer that inside corner and then outside one. Then I can flip her around here shortly. What did I do with that? I think I set it over here. All right, so I'm going to leave that foot. And don't think I'm going to turn this around and take the foot off yet. But let's think about that. I need to create a border. So I'll mark where I got to put this back in the chuck. Inevitably, it seems things go off a little bit when you take things out from between centers and don't line them up the same way the jaws were in on the chuck. So I want to mark that. I think well, actually, I know I do. I see a tool mark down at the bottom here that I want to get rid of. Can I get right up in there? It's as close as I get. Okay. Too high. Did I just uncover a split? I don't think so. That would be a great time for a bottom feeder, but I don't have one, so. Or rather, I did have one, but then I put it back to its original grind because I knew I wasn't going to use it very often. But it was nice to learn on. and it was using up one of my bowl gouges to be a sometimes tool, so I put it back to the original bowl gouge grind, which is 60 degrees on my gouges anyway. Beautiful. So now it's ready for at some point to stopper. Let's take a look at the the lid. Yeah, that cleaned it up really nice. So we got to fit this dude on here. Goodness. All right. Fairly straight up. I'm sure that is not wide enough yet. Yeah. There we go. Okay, now I can get you right up next to it now. Yay! Oh, that is a nice fit too. Very cool. All right. So I just need to adjust my thickness in the bottom. Or the top of the inside, the bottom of the bowl shape. A little narrow right there. There we go. Lovely. And now I will get my sidewall scraper. Got a little detail in there, and I'll use my 1/4 inch skew to give it just a little bit of a bevel to fit the outside edge of these jaws so that I can turn the outside. So my bottom is right there. Check again. It's right there. And they line up. That works. Ta-da-da. Wrong way. So I've got, with this, I mean, that's basically 3/8 of an inch wall thickness that I'm pressing against on the inside. I still don't want to, like, torque this on. I just want it to be secure enough that I can make the cuts and not have it pop off. And not so much that it splits anything on these, especially on this side grain. If it just splits it open, if I got any hidden splits in there, that might end it all. Hard to say. Okay, don't need that guy, but I do need this guy. Well, I guess this guy first. It's close. It's close, but it's not right. My eye anyway. There we go. And let's see, that guy would be helpful. Well, let's think. Am I going to put a fitting on this guy? No, let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I want to mark over here. So I definitely need to round this over and tuck that in. No, I think I won't put a finial on it. I'll leave that space there, but I think I'll put a ring detail, so I'll continue this bead over and create a ring there. That part's not going to get carved. Just add a nice little bit of detail, I think. Okay, set that aside. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh. Let's see. I think I will also grab. My 3/8 spindle gouge. Don't tighten that down yet. Something like that. Yeah, simple but very nice. All right, so that's that. I'm going to flip around once more because I forgot to round off this outside corner. Run the grain straight across between jaws. Just as simple as that. And no real marks to speak of. So when we look at this, yeah, it sits nicely. I think I may like tuck this in a little bit. Let's see. Maybe that won't matter once it's actually carved. And I'm going to leave this stuff on it, the tenon. So when I figure out how I'm going to border this, then I can figure out the foot at Aramont, and that won't take very much time at all. So there, that one is ready to go, except for the magic stopper. Okay, I'm not sanding anymore, so I think I can take that off. So I need to make a stopper for this guy. I've got more of that cherry, but let's see what I've got here. Oh. Wood, honey locust. I don't think that'd look good with cherry. Yellow and, well, maybe it will. You know what? No. All right, so going through this stuff here. Could use another piece of cherry. Oh, that's unfortunately, that piece of mulberry would have been nice if it had been not cracked and split. Walnut would work very well. I don't want to make it out of burl. I think you're a piece of... Oh, yeah. Okay, so that won't do. Going through little pieces of... Ooh. That might... Oh, well, it's split, though. It's box elder. Dang. Unless... So it's split, like going this way. Well, actually, no, it looks like it's split and then started running this way. So I can't use that for a plug. Bummer, because that would have been a nice little feature in there. But, alright. So that should probably go to the burn pile some point. Yeah, I do got some more dark cherry, though. What do I got down here? Ash. Walnut, that's funny. Duke might look nice. Nothing else is big enough. Definitely not the ash. Yep. What do we got here? Cocobolo. Oh, it could work. And I've already got... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with that. See if I can turn that into a stopper. Let's see. There is another piece of cherry. But just in case, I'm going to grab another piece or two from over here. I think this is Paduke. Wait, no, that's not Paduke. What is that? It's not mahogany. That would be an interesting match, though. Okay, so these two will work just fine. So when I bought my Niles, what do you call that thing? Off-center jig. I got sent a piece of Paduke, and I cannot remember what the heck this is. I don't think it's cherry. Could be. But either way, one of these three, this is definitely cherry. I'm just really not sure what that is, but it could be cherry. That's Cocobolo, so I'm going to try for that guy first. That's the widest part. I think that would be Purdy. Okay, I don't think you fit in this chuck at all. Nope, time to swap chucks. Lots of shavings around here lately. Might be time to clean them up before winter. Alright, let's see. Move these guys aside. This aside. And let's see. Oh, that was either CA glue or resin. I wonder what was making it kind of difficult to cut through there. I'll be. Well, it leaves a nice little detail. So I'm going to leave it. That'll be nice. That's good enough, I think. Do I want to make that a raised ring? Yeah, why not? That's odd. My nose started dripping. Huh. Pardon me for a second. Okay. So I think I like that. And I think if I can, yeah, I should be able to do this. This shouldn't be a problem. Yes. Alright, we're going to have a little fun and turn a bead with my negative red stick. There we go. So nice little bead there. Can I clean that up anymore? Or is that just, yeah, that's okay. All right. Okay, so now I've got a hold there, which is what I wanted. I think I'll make that a little bit smaller.
I took longer than expected to get back.
Hey, Will, welcome back. How was the Zoom call? Yeah, it's usually how it works. Hey man, but you know I didn't miss everything. You can go to my YouTube. This will be uploaded in tonight, actually, at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. You can catch back up and see what happened to that log.
On AI.
On AI? Oh wow. They adding it to your industry? I know they're trying to do a lot of that here. Oh, and we're on a different log even, man. Or at least what could pass for one, like part of one. All right, so Cocobolo. Shot.
That is safe. I was going to say, I thought it was round before.
Yep, you haven't missed the color change yet. We're going to get there shortly. Okay. Wow. Okay, so once again, all this turning I've done at the lowest speed my lathe can go. Every single bit of it, I haven't changed speed. But I do like to bring that up because I hear it a lot going to, demonstrations, stuff like that. People ask them, well, what speed are you turning at? And I just want to tell people, don't get hung up on that. Like, he's turning at a speed, or she is turning at a speed that he or she is comfortable with, and you should do the same. Don't think just because I don't know, maybe well, we'll use me as an example. Maybe I'm turning something at, for some ungodly reason, at over 2,000 RPM. Well, I do use 2,000 RPM for bumping, but let's say I'm turning something at, I don't know, 3,600 RPM. That's the fastest this lathe can go. For some unknown reason, I'm doing that. And without the knowledge that got me that far, maybe turning a 3600 isn't a good idea for you. It's not a race. It's not a speed competition. I guess that would be a race, wouldn't it? It's whatever works for you. So if it's okay for you to turn at 800 or 1800 or 2800, do that. What matters is you get the tool handler skills down, and you can turn at any speed. Just about. Maybe not any speed, but just about. I think it was, I don't know, at first it was a little bit of absent-mindedness because I'd slowed the lathe down to sand, and then forget to turn it back up and start turning again. But the sharp tools and the tool handling skills that I've developed really help with that. Turning is not about brute force and speed. It's about finesse. Actually, man, the bevel that's already on there is so close. So I think I'm going to use this guy as a negative rake scraper. Since it's pretty much already set up to do that, being askew. Oh yeah. Okay. So I want to widen that just a little bit. So that it sits a little bit lower. See how that fits. Hey. I think maybe just a little bit lower. Although I'm kind of playing around with the idea, maybe I should round this top edge over. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Excellent fit. So I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to do something with this guy. Still going to leave a little bit of that plug there. Now, of course, that's way too high. But I don't need that much. Hey, now. I'm not supposed to do that. I don't have a death grip on the tool, so the tool can move. I mean, I have control of it, insofar as I can have control of it. But the cuts that I'm making are light and controlled. Bend that over a little bit. No sharp edges. Yeah, that looks pretty all right. And then, let's see, do I need to? Yeah, I probably do. Okay. I can flip this around that little corner off. Because I think, sitting in the top here. Oh, you know, I should check this too. Hey, look at that. It works. I think sitting in there looking at it, with it not being a square shoulder, I think it would look better being slightly rounded right next to that bead. Good fit for the plug. Which is why I left that little bit there. Turn it into a detail, but now also I can hold it in the chuck. I could always make a jam chuck for it too if I felt the need. Bunch of ways to do this stuff. And a little bit more angle. Yeah. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, that'll look a lot better, I think. And if you have noticed, I have not still just realized I still haven't changed this speed of the layer. Alright, so this guy's not going to get carved, but I really want to see this It's got a nice weight to it too, since it's cocobolo. Oh yeah, man, that is just very, very nice. Well, hopefully it's because I'm getting better at um, the angles here. Although, a happy accident, I'll take that too. Nice. All right, so I'm going to hit this with buffing bone. Really bring out the cocobolo flavor. He's not going to get carved if nothing else is going to happen to that guy. As far as I know, I cannot foretell the future. Although I can surmise possible futures based on my actions if I stop and think about things. But that's not the same thing as forecasting the future. Get this stuff in all the nooks and crannies. I mean, it'll wind up there eventually, but get in there so it's good to start with. All right. That's really, I think that'll be a nice color combination with this pink cherry over here. At least the inside, what people are going to see. The outside will be carved and probably painted or dyed. Woo! Pokeball is nice, man. It will build up friction pretty fast. So for a polish like this, don't have to wait too long. Wow, that's just a really gorgeous color. Really nice. And then that resin that was in the center, and I'm not sure. It looks like it's got even brass in it, so I don't know what I was going to use this guy for. But it's a stopper now. And although the cherry itself hasn't been buffed out, I think that'll be a really nice color combination. Looking at the inside. Oh no, maybe I shouldn't have buffed that part. It doesn't want to stick now, so I guess I need to rough that up a little bit. Yes, it was just friction polish. The Baldy's better buffing balm is what I'm calling it. But yeah, this is the friction polish that I came up with. There we go. That's what I needed. I shouldn't have polished the bevel. So it's going to be a little bit. It'll take on some darker tones because I am going to hit that with walnut oil when this is all said and done. Actually, I can go ahead and hit this with walnut oil this evening. We got till October. second week, I believe. So it'll have plenty of time to dry and not get any on this. Not that that matters, but yeah, I think that's a really nice combination. All right, there we go. So there's another one set and ready for school days. Take this guy inside. Ruh-roh. Now I'm misplacing. Oh, there it is. I was looking for the one I did last night, and I'm like, uh-oh, I'm misplacing them already. So I think in the near future, I'm going to find some really, really big, the largest sea urchins that I can find. Because I've seen, oh, come on, Dave. Names. You know what? I'm going to have to look it up. Doggone it. Get asked for names, even ask myself, and then my mind goes blank. Oh yeah, that's okay. Whoops. What was that?
Days 1452 said, "What are we working on?"
I'm gonna try something new now, but I just got finished doing a stoppered jar. I can bring it out. I was looking up a name of, for some reason I cannot remember, but I put myself on the spot, and that's probably why it did it. My brain went blank. Come on. Mav K14 is now a new follower. Very cool. That was a raid last night. Very nice. Oh well, we're gonna let it go. Anyway, it was a box out of a sea urchin, and I thought it might be fun to try that. But let's see. I've got another piece. One moment, please. Let's see. We could go with that. Put this away. So I think I might start another box, but not for the class. For me. For fun. Why not? How would that do? It would do if this was thicker, but it is not thick enough. Where can I find you? You're not thick enough down there either. Looking for a at least 1 inch block, like 1.5 inches block of wood to make a little box out of. Bummer, can't use that one. Lots of blanks everywhere, but none the right size. Yeah, you are also not. Although beach would be cool, not the right size. Oh, hey, what do we got here? Ah, man. So close. You know what? It still look really cool. All right. So I just randomly pulled out these two pieces. This one will be spalted maple. And we will make it into a box with this as the finial. It's already started. We'll have some fun with that. So I need to put a hole down here on the bottom. But I'm not going to use this chuck. or maybe I will if this doesn't work. Put all our bets on the one donkey, and we haven't even bothered checking out the donkey. All right, cool. Oh, and this is rock maple. Oh, yeah. All right, so this is a piece of rock maple, root burl, spalted. I've had this little piece, so now I recognize the wood. I've had this little piece since like 2016. It's been floating around. Now we're gonna do something cool with it. Let's take the larger spindle gouge. I think that is just about right. There we go.
That side might chip. Be careful.
Looks like that side might chip. Oh, thank you. I think we're doing okay. Especially if I made this the right size. I did not. Yes. This being the rock maple, really hard stuff. Hey, now. Whoop. Wrong lever. There we go. That is going to be an excellent hold. And I have not done this in a while, so I'm going to play with the skew on this stuff. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one is the skew? I don't know. There it is. Do I need to hone it? Oh, should be okay. Remember the first time I tried to saw this or turn this, actually even sawing it the first time, just blew my mind. It was so hard. But I also was not sharpening my tools well. It was all when I first started, so I really want to see how this is gonna go with my skills now. This stuff is, it really is, it's super hard. So if you're not comfortable following along with the way that I use my tools, go at the speed and comfort level and areas of the tools you're comfortable with using. In general, when you're using this skew, you want to be using no more than the bottom half. Sometimes a little bit less than that, but you want to be going from the halfway down. But you can cut with the top half of the edge as long as you have put into practice and know what to expect from the tool when you're cutting this way. Normally I'll be cutting down here, but in tight spots, I will switch from the bottom to the top part because I understand through the practice that I've done what to expect, especially should I goof it up. Okay, so that is going to be the box top. I think I'll round this over. Like that. And then I'll cut this in. Maybe not so steep. Yeah. Wow. I had a really difficult time turning this when I was just starting out. I don't seem to have as much issue now, which is a good thing. So let's see. All right, so that's good there. Oh, and I get to see my buffing balm on this because when I turn this, I had not come up with that. So that'll be cool too. We're doing on time. Oh, yeah, we're doing all right. So for this guy, that should be deep enough. Move that out of the way. Whoopsie daisy, almost dropped that one. Sitting too high. And that's just a tad bit low, so somewhere right in there, I think will be, yep. In theory, anyway. Well, not that time. course, I could use a Forstner bit or anything else. I think that's as deep as I want it to go. Yeah, I think so. Quick poke and see if that will work. Yes, it will. Groovy. Did I get all the way down to my bottom? I did. Whoops. Ah, come on. I got hung up in the camera cords there. Yeah, that'll work. It's a good wall thickness, I think, but put a fresh burr on this guy, and we will do a finishing pass or two on the inside. Took this guy up on edge. Pull out some nice shavings. Very cool. All right, it's really clean in there. And now for the lid. So we can get this guy out of the way, this guy out of the way. Oh, wait, nope, I still, oh, yeah, there you are. Where did you go? There you are. Big trouble in River City here. Oops. There we go. And fuel. All right, let's get depth really quick. So they match, they meet, that works. Okay, mask up for this guy. Just chewing up the abrasive, that's for sure. Oh, very nice. Okay, well, I have now lost my mark, but we'll find it again. So right there. Come on. That's my bottom. That's not what I want. Do I want to cut it at all? I mean, if it has a weight in the bottom, that's a good thing. All right, let's do this then. Nice and clean inside. That's very cool. I think you can see that in there. Maybe not. I don't know. But always a good thing. Will this work? The answer is probably no. Okay, so I'm losing this guy. Oh no, no we're not. Not yet. Let's work on this. Since it is already attached to the lathe, move the flashlight. Oh, nope, just need that way. Yeah, we'll go with that, dude. And since this is good sour Coca-Cola, it'll be something like that. So I'm thinking it's about 1.25 inches. It's 1.5 inches. I'll be okay. So I'm really close. I'm going to leave that where it's at. Let's see. That's all that I want this. So as I'm doing, I'm figuring out like how I'm gonna hold on to this dude so I can size it properly. So that should do for the hold I'm going to need to put on to finish that finial, which means now and in theory this will work. Got to find out, but that may actually be Purple Heart. It's brown because it's oxidized. That may actually be Purple Heart. Oop, let's get rid of that. Nobody likes splinters. I think that is Kokobo or Purple Heart. Okay. Now I need this guy. Because if I remember right, yes. That will fit down in there. Which is why I left this spot fat, pretty thick, so I could get a good hold on it with the pin jaws, not damage the rest of the finial, because it actually fits into the throat of the headstock, which is nice. Alright, so I need to move this aside. I don't need the mask right now. Now let's size this dude. is just a little. Okay, hold on a second. First, we want to make sure that it's running true. Now I'll tighten it down. And this guy. Just a little bit too thick. Thin. That's the word, thin. Excuse me. Don't smoke up on me. Just like I'm sneaking up on this. Ooh, man, that's like a really good friction fit. But yeah, I do. I question myself in there just for a second. Do I want a friction fit? Yeah, yes, I do. Bear with me one moment. Alrighty then. Kind of shot past my. There it is. Got it back. Shot past my good friction fit. There we go. Okay, is that deep enough? Yep, that is plenty deep enough. Really, I brought that out. I'm looking for a tool that I apparently already have out. Let's see, I don't need that one. This one can go back. And that one can go back. Very good. Now I can turn the rest of this, but before I do that, oh, that'll be well below the chuck, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, cool. Now I can finish the rest of this guy. But yeah, that, well, it could be red heart, but I think that's purple heart. Wait, where's the green go? That way. Okay. Man, I don't know what is tickling my nose right now, but
Technical, if I may say. Looks cool. What are you making?
right now it is the lid and finial for this box. So if something's tickling my sinuses, I'm going to wear the mask. Okay.
Technical.
Yeah, it could be. Why I put the mask on? No, I wouldn't think it's much of a niche skill. There are a lot of production turners still in the world. Um, some of them in here in America, in fact. But I got started turning as therapy for PTSD, and as I say a lot, I found out I had a knack for it. I fell in love with it. Then I fell in love with teaching it. So that's why I started this particular channel to become a better teacher and a better demonstrator and a better turner because much as I would like to see that there's a shortcut, there is no shortcut. It's you have to put the practice in. I do some production work now and again. Most of it turns out to be furniture restoration and furniture repair. So in a way, I guess that's kind of niche. Instead of paying for, or if you can even find a company in this area, or I'm sure there is somewhere that you can send off your spindles and they could machine turn them and all that. But you can't find this. You can't find this stuff in the box stores. That just doesn't happen. I like to turn because I find it relaxes me. It gives me a focus of the here and now. And I talk to a lot of veterans about it every chance I get. Is consider art as therapy. It gives you, woodturning, anything like this, gives you a focus of being here and now instead of where you might have been or where you think you might be going. With wood turning, you got to pretty much be present. It's the same thing with beekeeping. Another reason why I got into beekeeping was therapy for PTSD. You gotta be present. You gotta be in the now. And it doesn't hurt to have your instant gratification button pushed because you can see this stuff come to life right in front of your eyes when you're turning, and then that's a really neat feeling. I'm just gently resting my finger on the back side of this just to help dampen any vibration, and I'm taking really light cuts. It's a long piece. I don't want to put any more pressure on it than I have to. In fact, I'll do a little bit of sanding on it right now. Oh wow, that's nice and cool. This wasn't even tightened down, but apparently that wasn't an issue. But it could have been. Anyway, I don't know. Jeff Dan got started. It's not something that the VA supports or recognizes as what they call a therapy, but I will happily disagree with them, and hopefully I can get them to change their minds, and then this will be something that VIA recognizes for other turners, even if they don't recognize it for me. Okay, 1/4 inch skew. What am I going to do here? I think what I'm going to do, or maybe I can get the 40-degree gouge. Yeah, let's do that. Oh no, twice in a week I'm pulling out the 40-degree spindle gouge. Man, it's been a long time since I've had this guy out. But comes in handy when I need it. Took a while. I had I tried 60 degrees. Spindle gouge doesn't quite work as well. Let's see. That is the come on, Dave. English works. It really does. It's like your normal language, and you're not getting anything out. I don't understand, Dave. I don't think that'll work. So no, I'm pretty sure this is Purple Heart. It just happens to be a little reddish. I'm pretty sure that's what's tickling my nostrils. So back to the mask. Okay, now that's where it sits. All right, I want to double check this really quick before I hit this with buffing balm. Yes. Okay, good. I don't know, I thought it'd be something unusual, so let's put the buffing balm on this guy. Don't need a mask for that. Holy cow, man. Something is just driving my sinuses crazy right now. It could be this wood. Drippity drip, drip, drip. Alright. A little bit too much, but oh well. Uh-oh. Yep, that's what I thought. Need to tighten it down a little bit more in the chuck. It was starting to wobble a little bit. Now, I haven't done turned Purple Heart in a while, but what I remember with the Purple Heart that I've turned is that if it gets hit with heat, like this buffing balm will do, it kind of turns it more of a red. This is already kind of a red, but yeah, it makes it more striking. Yeah, like that. Okay, so that is the finial. Let's finish off the box. Need to refine my depth here. Need the light to be in the right spot, or me, something. So somewhere in there is the bottom. Because this is a longer, taller box, I'm going to bring up the tailstock for support, especially since I am using an expansion hold, and I wonder if I can get it all the way down. Probably not. Nope. Oh, wow, 11:15 already. Well, I'll be wrapped up with this pretty quick. It does occur to me probably able to get to it, right? It does occur to me that I am going to need to swap chucks twice. So let's get this part done really quick. This is where I need to put the buffing balm on this box, so I can get to parts of it that I won't be able to get to when it's in this other chuck. Just a tiny bit of a sharp corner there. It would be nicer if you were running true. Did I just drop my abrasive? I did. It's right here, though. Let's see if I can tap it in here. I have to loosen it up. There we go. And then some buffing balm. I'm curious to see what this does on rock maple. I mean, I'm kind of expecting it to look like other maple, but I have yet to have used this buffing balm on this species, so this will be kind of cool. Oh, wow. It already brings out the curl that was in there. But definitely the spalting, too.
Captain One
That's
said,
all right.
"Hey, Dave Rive.
Hey, man.
Just
How you
wanted to
doing?
stop by and say HIA."
Hey, man. How you doing? Hey, by the way, thanks for the subscriptions. Or yeah, appreciate that. Hope you're doing all right, man. Hopefully the pain is tapered off and you're healing pretty well. All right, so now I can finish the bottom. Oh, using the other chuck. Pin jaws. Just a little, I don't know, eclectic. Just a different style of lidded box. I just thought it'd be fun to do since the shape was pretty much already there. Okay, let's work with that. Okay, so again, expansion hole, but I'm bringing up the tailstock. It was nice to turn rock maple after, well, it's been quite a few years. What was it, 2016, I think? Was the last time I turned it. Maybe 2017, but still. Early on in my turning journey, and I had trouble with it. I had trouble with a lot of things because I was a new turner. But once I got some really good instruction under my belt, really competent instruction, and a lot of time behind the lathe, which I still like to spend, well, my tool handling skills have improved. All right, tool rest. I want to mark this center after I make sure this is running through. It is not at the moment. Is that the guy? That's the guy. Now it appears to be. I probably just lost it there. No, I did not. Okay, cool. So this is rock maple. I'm probably going to wind up giving it a little bit more oomph, but not a whole lot. I really just need to hold it in place. Of course that happened. Locate my center. I got my tailstock. This is only pin jaws. It's not like, why did that take it out? I'm not happy with that. I guess I need to tighten it just a little bit more. This stuff is really, really hard, especially once it dries, man. If you've ever turned rock maple, my suggestion is turn it green. Especially if you're newer to wood turning, because it's a tough wood. Well, it still took it out a little bit, unfortunately. I don't understand why. See if I can do this. That is really bizarre. Why is that doing that? Oh, the hole went off center. So we'll make it a little bit wider. Not running through right now. Come on. Looks like that's the best I'm gonna get. I'm gonna try to manipulate it a little bit more. There we go. That's better. Not great, but it's better. All right, where's my mark? There it is. So that's the bottom inside. Where are you going, clown? Tailstock's trying to back off. Let's give it a little bit more. Curve here. Undercut it a little bit. Cut that loose. All right, let's try that one. Test, test. All right, cool. The microphone went dead. So out of the pair of microphones that are each supposed to last 7 hours on a charge, only one of them does. The other one doesn't last 3.5 hours. Okay, so that is the buffing balm. I don't understand what you mean by past habitus. My past of choice would be that I was born a poor, a rich child and never wanted for anything. But that's
Values,
not the
say,
past that I
paste.
have. Oh, paste. Mine.
Values, say, whoa, me bad typing.
So there is litter box, spalted rock maple with Purple Heart friction fit lid, kind of a unique little box.
Values, say, that is pretty cool, man.
Thanks. I would say that my paste of choice is mine, the blend that I have, because
Values, say, a little whimsical.
yeah, 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 yeah. I agree. Thank you. It's kind of cool. The blend that I came up with, blend that I make, is all everything in it is completely natural. I mean, I get petroleum is also natural, but there are no petroleum products in my paste. Almost every paste out there, actually every paste I've looked at, has mineral oil, some other petroleum products in it, um, paraffin, stuff like that. And I use beeswax, 100% pure orange oil, 100% pure walnut oil, and then food grade diatomaceous earth and medical grade pumice for the abrasives, and they are basically at about 400 to 600 grit a piece, and they break
Values,
down really
say,
well.
I
So
bet it smells good.
yeah, it does. It reminds me of playing with the hives, actually.
Values, say, you should sell it as an air freshener.
Well, I'm trying to sell it as a wood finish. Starting to get trying to get that out in the market. So eventually soon, I hope. So there we have that box. All right, so we went a little bit over this evening. Why is it not switching? Is it because I am? Oh, because I am for some reason typing in chat when I shouldn't be. Let's do that. There we go. Okay, so that is a couple lidded boxes. One actually finished. The other one is, again, as I said, for the upcoming classes. Is then a class that I'm going to take. But I think that's a cute little, as Abbott has said, little whimsical box. Nice little friction fit lid. I'm going to finish the inside of both of these with walnut oil, and that'll be good to go. That's cool. I like the way that it came out. The spalted rock maple really polished up nicely with my buffing balm. So now I know how it works, how it looks. Yay! All right, so wrap this up. My name is Dave. I'm a wood turner, obviously, but I started turning as therapy for PTSD, and I found that I had a knack for it, and I fell in love with it. I still use it as therapy, but then I also started teaching, and I fell in love with that. So I started this channel to become a better teacher, a better demonstrator, and a better turner, because the secret sauce to all of this is getting proper instruction and practice, 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 and more practice. There's no shortcuts. If you are, and there's nothing wrong with being. There's nothing wrong with anybody's skill level if they're comfortable with it. But if you want to improve your skill level, look for good, competent instruction. If you're in Traverse City, I teach. Most of the time, one on one, but I can do two on one right now because I do have two lathes working. Yay! But I want to thank you very much for joining me this Wood Turning Wednesday. Thank you for supporting this channel by viewing, lurking, especially participating in chat. That's what drives, the way I understand it, what really drives Twitch's metric the most is engagement in chat. So thank you very much for that. I will be back again next Tuesday and Wednesday, 8 to 11 Eastern
About
Standard
is
Time.
said, thanks for the good energy and vibes.
Hey, thanks, man. That's kind of you. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you. I hope that yeah, that they are good vibes. I This is a relaxing pursuit for me. Again, like I said, I started it as therapy, so I continue to use it as that, and I continue to use it as a meditation. Going in, I'm like everybody else. I do occasionally make design changes, sometimes inadvertently. I've been turning for what 10 years now, so not decades, but even turners have been turning for decades. Sometimes make design changes that are inadvertent. They call them mistakes. I want to call them happy little accidents because it's a teaching moment, and sometimes. It causes you to, or at least in my case, sometimes it causes me to make a little slight change in the design that I had, and often it turns out it's a better idea than what I started out with. So I'm just going to call them happy little accidents. Sometimes things fly apart. You can't control every little part of the wood. It's a natural growing entity. Every piece of wood is different. You just have to stop and assess as you're going. As I'm working through the piece of timber from log or from tree rather to finished item. I am going through every step that I'm going through. I'm constantly assessing the wood, so I know. All right, do I need to make an adjustment here to either improve the presentation of a feature that I find that I got to uncover, or that I need to adjust for size or whatever, or if I find a split in the wood, how can I work with that? Is it there's lots of pieces of the puzzle, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So give yourself the permission to make mistakes, especially as a new turner, because you're going to. And I don't like using the word mistake because it is just an inattention. It is an opportunity to improve turning skills. It's not necessarily like I don't know. I don't know how. I just like I like the phrase "happy little accidents" from Bob Ross because you never know what's going to come out of it. You might. I mean, at the very least, my idea is that my turning skills are better because of whatever happened, and I learn from that and don't repeat it. Um, but give yourself the opportunity or the chance, the permission rather, to make mistakes because it's going to happen. And even working with a natural product like wood, sometimes the wood just does not going to hold itself together, and there's nothing you can do about that. I've had that's happened several times with burls where the inside was all mushy or full of fungus or whatever, and once you break that wall, there's nothing holding it together anymore, and it'll come off the lathe. I've been very fortunate. I did get hit a couple of times as a newer turner. Fortunately, nothing terrible, but it could have been disastrous. And so that is one of the reasons why I really try to focus on safety because this isn't a dangerous endeavor. It's not. I mean, you got a very fast rotating piece of material standing right in front of you, and you're poking tools at it. So yeah, there is some inherent danger, but practice, know your skill level, trust, work at it. You need to know. Don't try to overreach yourself too far. Everybody needs to stretch a little bit to grow and improve, but don't take huge leaps. Like don't you just don't. I want to impart to you that turning is supposed to be fun, and you might have some less than happy moments. I don't want to call them frustrating. Maybe they might be a little frustrating. Less than happy moments, but again, it's an opportunity to recover, learn from those mistakes, recover, and press on. The bottom line is practice. That's all there is to it. So I hope that I've inspired you to do so. I hope that if you're not a turner, maybe I've inspired you to check it out some more. Um, it's a pretty cool deal. It's one of the few things. I mean, like pottery is the same, right? Ceramics. It's one of the few things that you can see it like it's coming together right in front of your eyes, and you're doing it. It's that instant gratification, and it's kind of cool, man. It takes time to get it to happen in a fast manner, a quick manner. Like this little box took me an hour. But as a newer turner, that would have taken me several hours, and I wouldn't have had the skills to be able to do this as well, or anywhere near as well, especially as a newer turner. And so that's not something that I actually would have tried until I got, and I didn't until I got better with my tool handling skills with the spindle gouge. And then Mark Gardner came along and changed my life on spindle gouges. He completely changed the way I use them. And now I have found much more efficient and
About
safe
is
ways to
safe.
use them.
It would take me a couple of hours
And a
and few swear words.
couple of swear words. I'm sure that I have tainted the air blue when I was a newer turner. I'm quite sure. And I know that other new turners do, but go easy on yourself. It's something that takes. You have to learn the muscle memory. You've got to get the good instruction. You got to put it into practice, and you got to learn the muscle memory. You've got to work within what your physicality is, whatever that is. There's blind turners. There's people who cannot stand. They sit and turn. That's how I started turning. I couldn't stand for very long, so I got a lathe where I could sit down and I could turn. Um, Now I don't have to do that so much. I still have a sit stand stool. If things start to get a little weak and woozy, I can bring that out and set it up, and I can support myself that way. There's been many times that I've supported myself against the lathe, the mass of it and the extra weight that I have on it holding me up so I could turn and I could practice. But that's not everybody's the same, and not everybody has the time that I've had as a disabled vet to put into this. In the space of about 10 years, I've probably put 15 to 20 years of turning time into 10 years. I've put a lot of time into it. I still got lots to learn. I'm just scraping the surface of a lot of things. I'm not an expert in any one thing, or in several things. I'm just I'm pretty adequate, I think, pretty adequate. And The skills that I've learned allow me to take what I call are shortcuts. They're not shortcuts. It's that I need the finish that I get off the tool because I work with sharp tools, and I really worked with my tool handling skills that I don't have to start at a lower grit anymore. I start commonly at 220 or 320. That's my common grit start. But it's taken all that practice to get there. You can do it too. And I'd love to be along the journey with you. I think that would be awesome. Having said all that, I hope you all stay friendly. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to sign off. So I hope to see you next week, Tuesday and Wednesday evenings is when I stream. Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, 8 to 11. I know I've bandied around that I want to turn more or stream more often, and it looks like it's probably going to wait till winter. I've just been so doggone busy with things. Even some of it's even preparing for winter. But maybe this winter I'll be able to put more time in on Twitch, which would be cool. So groovy. Thanks a lot, folks. Appreciate the support. Hope to see you soon. Good night.